Well, this will be fun. I'm going to play this, and then I've got a story to tell you about this, and about a horny 16-year-old me on a beach in New York, and how that ties in to Edgar and Johnny Winter. Here we go. Frankenstein. Classic rock. Oh man, that bring back memories. Hey, for all you guys that like the Tommy Johansson and the Edgar Grunwald, you guys think you're heavy rockers? Dig that. Edgar Winter's group doing Frankenstein. Oh man, brings back such great memories. Okay, I said I was going to tell you a story, so here's a story. I met Edgar Winter and his brother Johnny Winter. Crazy albino guys, amazing guys, super, super nice. Let me tell you the story. I lived in New York on Long Island, a place called Sands Point. Mom and Dad had a nice house, nice neighborhood. I had horses. I'm out on the beach riding my horse down on the beach. We own some beach there, and there's this not a 10, a 13, if you will, in a bikini laying on the beach, and she sees me coming down the beach. You know, my horse is just sort of trotting in the wet sand. And she's like, "Oh, can I ride your horse?" I'm 16, right? I'm 16. Hell yeah, come on, you know. Ride my horse. Yeah, you could ride my horse anytime. Anyhow, I help her get up on the saddle, and she gets up on the saddle. And she takes the reins and she starts walking away from me. And she's like kicking him and just confusing the hell out of my horse. My horse had no idea what she wanted. And he was a good horse. He was a grandson out of Poco Bueno. So finally he just quickly made a left turn and came right back to me. Like, get her off of me. But when he made that quick left turn, she fell on her butt. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You know, he's usually not skittish. He's, you know, blah, blah, blah." And while we're sitting there and I'm consoling her, and she was fine. I can hear Led Zeppelin music playing in the background. Definitely Iron Blim. And it was loud. I was like, "Man, is there like a concert going on or something?" And she said, "Oh no, it's just the guys down in the basement jamming." Guys, basement, jamming. I was into music, you know, always have been. I'm like, she goes, "Do you want to see the band? You want to meet them?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, sure." So we walk over up to this house that Edgar and Johnny had rented for a year. I tied my horse up and he's out there munching on their manicured gardener-induced lawn. And we walk inside, and the music's just getting louder and louder and louder. And we go through this door in the kitchen and down into a basement. And Led Zeppelin are down there jamming in the basement, along with Edgar and Johnny Winter and the Edgar Winter Band. And I'm a 16-year-old super fan, and I'm geeking out big time. I'm embarrassing myself, geeking out big time, looking at these guys who were my idols back then. I didn't know the Winter Brothers that well, but Led Zeppelin, of course, you know. In any event, they were down there doing some studio work with the Edgar Winter's band, and I got to meet them and got to know them to the point where, you know, whenever I would be out on the roads and they would go by, Edgar and Johnny are both albino, right? So they're blind. They're legally blind. They can't drive. But Edgar liked riding around on a motorcycle. So he would have a chauffeur give him rides on a motorcycle. And so here I am, you know, going down the road on my horse, riding the road and stuff, and there in Sands Point, New York. And every so often I'd hear, you know, this big Harley coming up and then beeping a horn and waving at me. And I'm like, yeah, how you doing? How you doing? Oh, man. I was blown away. I can honestly say that was probably the most blown away I've ever been in my life. The just the fandom, the geekiness. I was just like, oh my God, you guys are, you know, just crazy. But anyhow, that was my history with Edgar and Johnny Winter. If you're not familiar with them, these guys are a pair of albino brothers that are hard rockers. You heard them do Frankenstein. That was actually the long version. They do a short version of it as well. Awesome band. Awesome band. Man, these guys are just incredible. You saw Edgar jumping around, keyboards, drums, he's saxophone. He's one of the guys that actually inspired me to become a multi-instrumentalist, to not just be a guitarist or just be, to be able to do a little bit of everything. So, and he sings too. So there you go. Well, man, I hope you enjoyed that. I know I did. This is the most enjoyable music reaction I've done in a long time. My kind of gig right there. Memories of my misspent youth at age 16 living in New York. Give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe, ring ding ding the bell so you get notifications next time I post a video. Thank you for listening. I truly do appreciate it. And don't forget to check out Old Goat Reactions. I do news of the day reactions on another channel now. Go over and check that out. Thanks, friends. Oh, there'll be a link to that in the description here.